Saturday morning, sun is starting to rise, so it's behind me. Just going to drive down this field around the headland and then park where the flood was, because this is where we're going to be filming the BBC Breakfast in a minute. First time we've done anything for BBC Breakfast for a good while. They seem to have ignored anything political that we've been doing, whether we've been in London or shelves have been empty with bread or anything. So interesting that they still want to speak to me about weather. Oh, train going past. This was really wet when it was sprayed off, John was saying, so he thinks that could be one of the reasons maybe why the roundup hasn't worked in the corner, perhaps.
After the driest March, you saw the figures a moment ago, for 60 years.
Yeah, not much better in April so far. It's an unwelcome contrast to last autumn when it was so wet that some farmers were unable to plant anything. Our reporter Joe Campbell has been to Berkshire to find out more.
As you can see, the spring barley is germinating slowly, but it should be a lot thicker. It should be about this high, and it's because we've had dry weather, the nitrogen hasn't taken up the fertiliser.
After the rain drowned much of his winter barley crop, Colin Rayner reseeded in the spring. But then, just when he needed the heavens to open, the rain dried up, hitting the wheat in the next door field too.
This crop is very thin because some of the seeds were drowned out, and now the ground is so dry it's now cracking, and you can see these enormous cracks in the crops.
Forgive me with the sun shining, though it sounds like a perfect storm.
Perfect storm, poor yields, poor prices, and also we've lost some of our markets.
If you're on school holiday, well, this weather is probably exactly what you're looking for. Bright sunshine, clear blue skies. But if you're a farmer growing barley like the stuff around me here, well, what's been happening over the last few months is very bad news indeed.
March was a very dry month, the 6th driest on record and the driest since 1961. The majority of weather observation stations around the south only saw around 10 millimetres of rainfall, and in some of the driest spots just 5 millimetres of rainfall. It was the 4th warmest March on record and the sunniest in England. But the start of April has been particularly dry as well.
Just down the road, Reading University is looking at how farming can weather the changing climate.
I think we have to sort of come to terms with the fact that if we want to keep farming, we have to look after the soil. And to look after the soil, we need to give the soil the time to recover, let's say, after sort of an intensive, demanding crop like most of the cereals are.
For years, they've been looking at the impact of rising temperatures. Now drought too is increasingly seen as something they need to address. Joe Campbell, BBC News.
We can talk to Ollie Harrison, who's a cereal farmer in Merseyside. Ollie, good morning to you. Thanks so much. Hello. You know, we always talk about getting up early here on breakfast. What time were you up this morning? Is this like normal time for you?
Not really. We don't have livestock, so I was only really up about 6:30.
Oh, well, yeah. Look, thanks for getting up for us. We were just hearing there, of course, how the weather's been affecting farming and concerns about crop management as well. What's the situation like for you at this time of year?
Exactly the same. So I think Colin was stood in a barley field. I'm in a barley field now. And I don't know whether you can see on the camera just how dry the earth is. And again, you know, we've got these cracks opening up and just no moisture whatsoever. This field on the 11th, it's the 11th of April today, I presume, 11th of April last year, this was completely flooded and we couldn't actually get anything in the ground. And this year, we got stuff in early, expecting a bit more rain, and of course it's just stayed completely dry. The ground shrunk and exposed some of the seeds, so they've not germinated properly either. So we can't win last year or this year.
So what does it mean in terms of preparation? Because with the weather patterns so unpredictable and in such contrast, what kind of provisions or extra equipment, drainage, etc., are you having to put in?
There's nothing really we can do. I mean, sort of a high-value crop per acre, some of the veg crops you would irrigate, but for wheat and barley, the price is so low at the moment that you would never irrigate them. The cost of actually pumping the water onto the fields just isn't there. You know, and it's one of the things that we've been trying to explain to government as well, that we're farming with nature, we're farming with the weather. You know, this is why we need, you know, a government that understands what's going on so that we can ride these highs and lows and stay in business, because at the moment it's pretty bleak agriculture.
Ollie, morning to you. It's Charlie here in the studio. And thank you for your kind of show and tell there, because just literally holding the earth like that really illustrates things. I just wonder, now, this is your area of expertise in a way. If you get a lot of rain now, or say you get heavy rainfall, I know there's some forecast now, does that in itself then cause another problem because the ground is already so dry? How does that work for you?
No, so some rainfall now will be good as long as it doesn't come too fast and we get flooding. But we do need sunshine as well. You know, these plants, they've got green leaves. They need to capture daylight to grow as well as having some moisture. So we've had loads of daylight. I mean, did you say March has been the sunniest we've ever had? That's great, but unless there's any moisture underneath them, they can't grow. You know, you need all them elements. And I think it was 2020 we started off like this. I was on this program talking about how it was so dry, and then obviously it started raining and didn't stop. So that meant that June was really dull. The crops didn't produce any seeds of any sort of value or any size, and the yields were right down. And then it obviously made it difficult then to get the next crop in ready for the harvest now, the year after. So
yeah. So Ollie, clearly you're talking about the problems it's creating for you on your farm. But as I understand it, there are some crops, farmers who are benefiting from this kind of weather. For example, those who are growing strawberries and things like that, for whom the weather we've had recently is a blessing.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, you know, some people are even growing grapes in the UK. I would think that they'll be having a good time. And like to the apple orchards as well, they've got loads of blossom. Although we did have a frost this morning, so I don't know whether that will affect them. I'm not an expert on fruit really, to be fair. But for the arable job, which is the main staple, you know, the wheat, barley, that kind of thing, that's what we eat every day. And that's what's looking like there's not going to be a lot in the shed this year, again.
Ollie, it's been good catching up with you. I wish you well, and you've obviously got a busy day ahead of you. It sounds churlish to say it, but it does look like a beautiful day where you are today. I mean, the blue skies, the tractor behind you.
Oh, it's stunning, yeah.
It could be worse in a way, and I know you've got problems you're facing with the weather, but thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Looks like someone's been replastering the house, got some fly tipping, a broken funnel. And the address is on it, isn't there? Front brake pads, trade customer. No. Sometimes you can get an address off stuff. Why? You know, it'd have fitted in a wheelie bin. I want to say it's my own fault, but it's not. You shouldn't have to. But we've obviously been in there and not put the wheels back. Concrete, you know, the tyre blockers. Old wagon tyre, car tyre, some concrete. Moving with the front linkage of the mailer. We put them across, stop people backing in. I don't think that was there when I went out this morning. Oscar's got the 1455 out. He's going to some charity thing later. With loads of kids, so he's going to take that to it because that's narrow enough for him to drive on the road. How smooth is that engine? It's just so smooth, isn't it? I might sell that to do them office conversion. Don't know. Undecided. There's a Cheffins Classic auction coming up at the end of this month, or next week maybe. Could, to be fair, do I put them cases in it, free up some cash to then convert them offices. Could always go and get 1455 again, but I've owned one now, so don't know. Anyway, I'm off to Lim, Mag Lane, in Lim, Grubobs, to do a course on public speaking. So I'm not sure what it'd be like, but we'll see. So off we go. Just doing this course, and look at his restaurant. He's got Hessian in the roof for sound editing. Back from the course, really interested, and it looks like Oscar has cleaned the yard after he's cleaned that tractor, and I think he sent me a video, so here it is. Oscar's been washing the 1455 because he's taking it to a charity thing in a bit, so here it is, now it's clean.
All done. She's looking much better. Looking lovely for later. The next job is to get all the string off, but I tried cutting it before with a standing knife. Because of all the muck, it's just the some stuff in there. It's quite hard to get at. So I'm going to use jet wash now. I'm going to do a strip down there, and at least I'll be able to access the string. It should be a lot easier to take off. So give that a go now. There you go. So now we can actually see the string going all the way down rather than before. So now I'm going to try and give it a go. Look at this. Bit hard with one hand. But 1 minute. All ready to go now. Jump packs in there because it didn't want to start before on its own, so that's in case it doesn't start later when I'm trying to come put it, bring it back to yard. And there we go. Just turned up now. It's looking good, all parked up.
As it's tradition, when Martin's around, we do the birthdays together. So off we go.
Hi everybody. Today, Mike Yates, happy birthday, 82. That's a good age. Craig Carrington, you're 45.
Philip and Mary Island, happy 50th wedding anniversary. Lynn Hughes is the big 7-5.
Martin Johnson from the Grain Pusher Ceres, ready for cereals next year, or this year at Wardies, is 44.
Stephen Lowe has been enjoying looking at some Ford counties, and you'll see it tomorrow on the Real Country File. He's 52.
Tristan Cotton, you're 21. Happy birthday, Tristan. Big party tonight.
Damien Stott, I think it's pronounced, or Stott, is 51. Happy birthday.
And of course, we can't do a birthdays at Ollie's without Tony Hall. Tony's actually singing in the church tomorrow in the choir. He's joined the choir of his local church. He's been practicing all day in front of the bathroom mirror. Happy birthday, Tony.
And happy birthday everyone else on there. We're now up to £88,517.
Which is pretty cool, isn't it? So have a good weekend, everybody. See you next time.
Yeah. Anyway, that is all for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Let us marks out of 10 for Oscar, the Oscar takeover today. And I'll see you all tomorrow.